voted for some of you politicians as well. Being a citizen, I've witnessed police brutality a lot, being from the North Side. With witnessing police brutality has led me to believe that I'm endangered in my own community. I feel like the 4th Precinct, as aggressive as it has gotten, must be pushing an agenda to militarize our police station. I feel like the politicians are pushing propaganda to make it seem that protesters, citizens, deserve to have a militarized community. And I feel like you guys want us, I feel like because of this, it's pushing my community into democracy. And you guys are standing under the Constitution, right, to represent the citizens who voted you guys in. And you guys aren't representing us at all. I feel like us coming here, wasting our nights, our time. Hey, I got a Facebook notification right after class, like 20 minutes after class, and made it straight here. You know, I got to get up at 7 in the morning again and do it all over again. Last minute, though, and it's crazy because I do pay attention to the politics, but I didn't get no notification of tonight beyond my community. And I feel like that's unfair, and you're playing us citizens who you guys are supposed to represent, who you guys are supposed to favor in our needs in our community, and we're sitting here crying out for help because you aren't. That's disrespectful. That's it.
Mr. Ali, Hani
My
Ali.
name is Cameron Clark.
I'm sorry. Can I just say Mr. Hani Ali had signed up? Is he here? Oh, Ms. Ali. I'm sorry, Ms. Ali.
My name is Hani. I live at 1 West Lake Street, South Minneapolis. First of all, I want to say I just moved out here from Maine, and that's the whitest state in the country. And I didn't think it could get any worse than that. It does. This state right here is the worst state in the country when it comes to racial disparities. I was at the 4th Precinct every single day, and I watched my brothers and sisters get beat, get maced by the Minneapolis Police Department. Jamar Clark was killed by the Minneapolis Police Department, and his blood is on your hands. Betsy, it's on your hands. And I also want to address Mr. Warsame. You are the only black person in this council. Step up, do something. East African. We had an East Africans for Jamar rally, and we do not. Sorry. Your inaction is unacceptable. You understand? You are black. I don't know if you know that. You are black. If you look in the mirror and you don't see a black person, you don't get to represent the black people in this room and in this community. Thank you.
Mr. Carl?
Madam President, I'm sorry to interrupt, and I know that we're opening up to speakers who haven't previously registered. If I could, with your permission, ask that if you're taking speakers who haven't registered, could they stop over here with me when they're done so I can get it?
So you can get your name and address, please.
Thank you.
When you're through. Okay, we have gone through our list. So if people wish to speak, why don't you just line up at the podium? And we'll be happy to hear you. But again, check with Mr. Clark Mr. Carl as you leave to get your name and address for the record. Thank you.
My name is Cameron Clark, and I stay on 1717 Plymouth Avenue, just a block away from the precinct. And I'm the victim who got shot, or one of the 5 protesters. And my cousin is Jamar Clark, and I'm here to tell y'all I'm disgusted and I'm hurt that y'all want to sit up here and fund these police officers who's not protecting us. They're harassing us. And we've been out there protesting, and it's been nonviolent. I done stopped a lot of brothers that wants to shoot and kill and really hurt the precinct down there. And y'all really don't understand what we're going through. I'm out there protesting. The community's out there all together, all type of races. We're feeding the homeless. And the police, and we got attacked, and it was a terrorist attack. And the police did not help us, and we're right there by the precinct. And then I find out it takes 15 minutes for the ambulance to come help us, but y'all want to sit up there and give them money. Y'all need to give my community money. That's where I stay. I walk up and down that block every day. I'm terrified for my life because I've been on the news. They know I'm related to Jamar, and I'm not going to stop. I am a warrior. I'm going to continue to stand with my people. And I believe we need justice. It shouldn't matter if I'm white, black, purple, orange. It shouldn't matter. We don't deserve this. Y'all need to give this money to our community. I'm hurt right now. I'm still hurt from my injury. I'm disgusted that my cousin's gone. He should still be here. And y'all want to give the money to these people who killed my cousin, and I know who set us up to get us shot, because I was one of the main protesters on the front line to stand for my cousin, just not for my cousin, for all these people in here and for all lives that's around. And it's just not black lives that matter. All lives matter, but the black ones are going through it the most. And we're going to get justice one way or another. And that's what's going to happen. Appreciate it.
Ms. O'Brien, you have spoken before, so I'm going to give you 1 minute.
He didn't make me aware of the 1 minute. I don't think you get to decide that. I think there's 13 people on there.
All right.
Okay. So, real quick, and the only reason why I actually originally came back is because some of our people in here are actually afraid to tell their stories, right? So that's a problem here. So if you're not going to do anything about that, then let me speak, okay?
You have 2 minutes.
We got people in here who have been followed by police, who have been stalked by police. I personally have been harassed by police. This is nothing other than slave catchers in 2015. If you guys knew your history of the community that you're speaking for today, you would have done your homework. Okay? Police, this is historic. You guys are investing in a profit system for white supremacy and capitalism and classism. That's what you're participating in. So anybody, whether you're black, Somali, or we coming for you because you too quiet over there. I'm so angry. Bob Johnson, when I talked to you about white supremacy, you walked up and walked out on me. Your face turned red and everything. You have no courage in the game. You can't even talk about something, even if it's something that you're doing. Your white supremacy is showing, and we're getting tired of it. We're getting tired. Block, I don't know what type of puppet string she has on you, but you're a liar. You told me and about 200 kids at PYC that if people came down here and mobilized hundreds of people, that you would listen. That everybody else would have to listen. You lied. I expect more. People are out here suffering. There are being people whose cars are being searched, not legally out here. Houses being destroyed. You guys are giving these police all these types of toys and stuff from the Clinton administration, right? This war on drugs, it's a political war. It has nothing to do about safety. You guys need to get out of our communities, period. You need to get your hands out of our piggy bank, because that's what you're using us for. You're using us for your own personal piggy bank. You think we don't see that the downtown's getting bigger and North is getting smaller? You all are participating in white supremacy. If you don't vote for us, you're a part of white supremacy. You're a part of white supremacy.
Can you wrap it up, please?
Can I do what?
Will you wrap it up, please?
Can you make an effort?
Will you wrap it up, please?
To do something, because your family has been fucking up this community for generations.
Will you please wrap it up, please?
Sir? My name is Maurice Franklin.
Sir?
My name is Maurice Franklin. I'm with Neighborhoods Organizing Change. I stay at 639 Penn, and I only wanted to say to you guys, I just want to give y'all a short analogy. Say I sell drugs. I'm going to jail. Y'all police shot a man in his head, but he's still on the street. But y'all want to give them money to make a fortress? What the fuck is going on? For real. I did my time. I was wrong. I did my time. He wrong. He not doing no time. He innocent till proven guilty, right? But he innocent regardless if he guilty or not.
Hi, I'm Lucinda Kai. I'm a guardian ad litem for Ramsey County, and I work with young people in foster care. I didn't go down there to the precinct every single day. I don't think I have the guts and the knowledge of half these adults and half these youth who were there every night, every day. But I will say something. I'll say thank you to Black Lives Matter, because I have 5 youth who I knew for sure would be safe at that precinct. I have 5 homeless youth because Hope Street was closed down. They didn't have enough shelter beds. And my youth were safe, especially that night that it was freezing cold outside. My youth were safe. They ate, and they felt protected. They felt like they had a family. And Mayor Betsy Hodgins, you should know this for a fact, because you and Governor Dayton are on the side of the foster kids. But if you're not on the side of protecting Black youth, you're not on the side of my people. You're not a part of me. I will no longer, ever tell my youth to go and say, Betsy Hodgins will protect you, because you're not protecting us. You may be protecting the foster kids, but majority of kids in foster care are Native American and foster youth who are Black. Most of our young people in foster care are Black, African American, and Native American. So if you're protecting the youth who are in the child protection system, why are you not protecting the ones who are on the streets right now? To me, in a way, you guys are worthless. Because I don't need your protection. I have the protection of my people. That's right.
Hi. My name is Peyton Williams.
And your address, please, sir?
Actually, I don't even live in Minneapolis, but I'm from St. Paul.
Okay,
and,
we still want your address, please.
Okay, 870 Howard Street North.
Thank you.
All right. So I was at the precinct as much as I could, and right now, after the protest, me and a couple of my friends who are from St. Paul have been noticing that Minneapolis Police Department has been in St. Paul following us. What is your police department doing in my city? We have our own problems already. What are you doing there destroying already what's already broken? We already got enough shit going on. Minneapolis got enough shit going on. Y'all need to do what y'all shit before you go over there and fuck us up. We already fucked up. That's all I gotta say.
Sir, your name and address, please?
Okay, Martin, 3015 West 45th Street.
I'm sorry.
Martin, 3015 West 45th Street.
Thank you.
I just want to start off with the facts where it was in the 1960s, where 2/3 of white people in the U.S. were incarcerated. And then 30 years later, roughly, the numbers reversed and switched, and Black people were 2/3 incarcerated. And, you know, the reason why I know for a fact is that the government has been funneling a lot of money into Black communities. So, and it's unfair, like, especially like living in one. And, you know, it's funny, like, it's a small world because like 2 weeks ago, I ran into my ex-girlfriend. We started talking for a little bit and stuff. And, she was Jamar's cousin. And she broke down. She couldn't even make it to the precinct. And, you know, I was telling her everything that was going on, and it was, I don't know, I almost broke down myself because it's like, man, that's your own kin. That's your own people, you know? And it's sad how, like, you know, you go out and you tense just because you see someone who, you know, who's in a badge and a uniform. It shouldn't be like that, obviously. You know, it's, you know, and every person of color can attest to this, but when you have to deal with microaggressions every single day, you have to walk out that door. People are looking at you and, you know, not thinking that you can amount to anything. And you feel like at the end of the day, you have to kind of like shuck and jive just to get to the top. It's not fair. It's not fair. And I mean, if this doesn't get passed, then it's just like, I feel like I'd just be giving up. Just give up on life because it's like, there's no way I can get to the top. So it's, you know, it's not just me, but like it's everyone else around me, doesn't matter what color they are. So, you know, I've always had kind of like a sour taste in my mouth, like with the police. And, you know, obviously I used to be very open to everyone and, you know, try and look, really get to know someone. But when someone stops you, the second day you get your driver's license, and they say, I'm going to give you a texting and driving citation for, it was funny because I was like, where's my cell phone? I don't see it. It was in my backpack, and it was off. And that's just my personal experience. But I mean, that's what a lot of people in this room can attest to. So, I mean, it's not fair, and it impacts everyone. So, thanks.
My name is Nick Espinosa from 609 Jefferson Street Northeast. And I grew up just across the Plymouth Avenue Bridge from North Minneapolis and from the 4th Precinct. And so I'm no stranger to the undercover racism that is boiling under the surface in this city. But I've never seen anything like what I've seen in the last 3 weeks. And we should be ashamed as a city. We should be ashamed as a community to see the kind of violence that was inflicted upon peaceful protesters at the 4th Precinct who were rallying because a man was shot in the head. And according to everyone who we're talking to, he was handcuffed. And instead of the response being outcry from the elected representatives from this council, some of whom were there, and I would like to thank Representative Gordon, Cano, Representative Johnson, Andrew Johnson, and Lisa Bender for the time that you spent with us at the precinct. But the priorities of most of this council have not been to stand against white supremacists who shot 5 protesters, has not been to stand against a Herc incinerator that's dumping thousands of tons of toxins on North Minneapolis. But the priority's been to go after peaceful protesters and get them out of there, to shut them up, to make them be quiet about the atrocities that are happening every day in our communities. And we need to put an end to that right now. We need new priorities. If we can make $600,000 appear out of a hat to reinforce the military fortress in an already militarized North Minneapolis, where's that money when we need it for equity? Why a year ago were hundreds of us demanding and fighting over chump change with the latte levy for $150,000 or $175,000 for equity initiatives? Don't tell us you don't have the money. It's clear that there's an issue around priorities here. And it's not just Barb and it's not just Blong, but it's the rest of the council who's remaining silent and voting along with them. I'm looking at Quincy, I'm looking at Reich, I'm looking at Fry, I'm looking at Goodman, I'm looking at Warsami, Palmisano, Hodges. And I'll just close by saying this council has espoused a lot of equity rhetoric, and I hope we don't have to wait until 2017 to see some equity action.
Ma'am?
Kathy Dalton, 84 Hickory Street. I actually come from the suburbs tonight. I saw the call and I got some dinner for my son and I came down here. And I've been down at the 4th Precinct many, many times since the occupation. I have a child of color. And every time I see a young man shot, I think, that might have been my son. And he lives in the suburbs, but he's a child of color. And when he's not with us, it doesn't matter. The police see him as a child of color. And it's not going to matter. And I tell you, the stories that I heard around those fires at the 4th Precinct, they would break your heart open. You should have been down there. Mayor Hodges, you should have been down there to listen to those stories. They're not lying about their kids getting shot and roughed up and taken to parks and beat up. They're not. When I was tired and I didn't want to go down there, I thought of my son and I thought of my friends, and I went down there anyway. As a white person, I cannot rest until we have equality for everyone. And all you white people up here, you should be thinking the same thing. We are all in this together. It's not us against them. It's not black against white. We are all one. You need to see that. You need to be there and listen to those stories. If you have hearts, if you have souls, You need to be on the right side of history.
That's right.
Make some good choices. Thank you.
Good evening. Do you need me to say my name?
Your name and your address,
Sure.
please.
So my name is Leslie Redmond. My address is 2315 DuPont Avenue, South, Minneapolis, Minnesota, 55405. Okay. So I wanted to start off with this. I bet right now you all feel extremely hated. And I just wanted to clarify it. We don't hate you. It's just that we love each other so much, we can no longer take the hate that is being put on us. I was really nervous to get up here, and I'm not really one to get nervous, but being in the presence of so many great people and witnessing them for the past couple of weeks, Professor Nikema Levy-Pounds, Tyrone Williams, Cameron Clark, Jason Soul, everybody, the youth, like just everybody, to see the community come together and to unite was beautiful. And then to see the opposite really hurt my heart. So, I'm not from Minnesota originally. I'm here attending law school. I'm from Washington, D.C. originally. And I didn't grow up in a household where I was afraid of the police officers, or every time I saw a police car, I was like turning the next corner. That wasn't my experience, I've had uncles in the police force, cousins, numerous people in my family in the police force. But what I've witnessed at the 4th precinct is hurt and broke my heart and my soul. I watched and I got maced. I saw people hit with rubber bullets and being tear gassed for no reason. I witnessed this with my own 2 eyes. It's nothing that I saw in the media. I witnessed this. I was there when those 5 protesters got shot. I witnessed the police officers look and do nothing. I saw a police officer come right 10 minutes before with a mask on. They looked just like the shooters. Like 10 minutes before. This is what I saw with my own 2 eyes. And then when those men, those heroes, that's what I call them, because they saved us. I want you to know, I was left 25 feet away from the gunman. It was a 3-year-old. It was an 8-year-old with their mom right there beside me. If they didn't walk them around the corner, God only knows what would have happened. They put their lives on the line for their community. These are heroes, and they're not being protected. They're not being protected. We're not being protected. The police officers stood right there. They watched. I heard like 10 shots. They heard it just like I heard it because they were right beside me. They looked. They told someone, this is what you all wanted. They stood there. They didn't do anything. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. And then when I did see them do something, they came out macing people. They came out with their guns running into the crowd of peaceful protesters who have done nothing. Still to this very day, we have done nothing wrong. We've come together. We've united. We said that we're not going to take this anymore. We're not going to just lay down and be kicked and kicked and kicked.
Can you wrap up, please?
Yeah, sure, no problem. I urge you all to really take a look at your society. Take a look at your community. I came to law school because I grew up in a community where I always saw people that looked like me being incarcerated. But I never saw anyone that looked like me being the lawyers and the judges. I look right now and I only see one person of color. So you know what that tells me? We need to start running for office. We need to start doing this position. It's time for us to revive what politics looks like. It's time for us to take back our communities and start running for these offices. Thank you. I appreciate it for your time.
First, I want to make a clarification. Does anyone who's not white want to speak before me? Anyone who's not white want to speak right now? Because I'm in line, but okay. Cool. My name is Never Heber, Never, like the word, 5604 50th Avenue South, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Cool. Right, I do debate, and so I see Betsy Hodges at specific debate events. Inside of debate, we talk about anti-blackness and how that exists. We talk about, how that impacts debaters, right? You show up, you clap, you vote for people, right? What does that mean when you leave that space? how are you taking the words that people are saying in front of you and using them to resist white supremacy with your position? I was there during two different moments. One where a black person made it over a barricade. This person was tased, thrown into the ground, hit cement, right? Dragged in, functionally kidnapped, right? Wasn't released, right? 2 days later, I believe, white person jumps the fence. They're told to leave, right? No violence is done to them, right? Is this what this investment is going to? More barricades to protect white supremacy? And I'm very curious on why white women are here, because I wonder what your placement in this is. Is it to uphold, white men's position? Is it to get closer to whiteness? What is gender politics in a world where you are just upholding white supremacy? There's no, freedom for you. There's no freedom for trans folk under white supremacy. I don't know, cops are, raping women all of the time. So, what are you doing in your placement to do anything about the violence that you are enacting, right? As a white person, how are you, making your place and making your voice less traumatic? You are a placement. You all went to law school. You all, went to schooling. Read the history books again. Read some history books that you were not taught. Learn what you do. Reflect on that shit. God.
My name is Tom Kruger. I'm at 1427 Queen Avenue North. Yes, North Side. I am here because I love my community. One of my neighbors on their garage has painted, it says, North Side kids are the best kids. And I believe that. I work in education and I study education, and I believe that. I believe that our kids are the greatest. As a white person, though, on the North Side, I have a front row seat for how my neighbors are treated. And nothing's been more horrifying than what I've witnessed at the 4th Precinct. And I think what's horrifying about it is that for me, it's new and horrifying, but for my neighbors, it's business as usual. And when I say that, that includes my students. It's business as usual for them. And so I'm here to say, white people, including our leaders, we are holding up racial justice work. And what's frustrating about that is sometimes people feel like they've been working so hard on it and it hurts their feelings when there's a bump in the road. And that's a problem. It's not about us. It's not about our feelings. I believe Minneapolis, we could do it. We could be the place. This could be the place. But not with business as usual. And not when our feelings get hurt. So I want to say that while I'm horrified, the ounce of me that believes in Ubuntu and that our humanity is tied gives me the chance to still believe in you a little bit. And I hope you can take that and salvage that and do something with it. But white people, we are holding this up. This is us. We're holding this up. Thank you.
Sir? Go ahead.
My name is Mustafa Adam, 1206 2nd Street, Northeast. First of all, I want to start with to tell you that I'm not a terrorist. You are the ones who are terrorizing people. And I'm not one of your preferred minorities or new good blacks or whatever you call it. Finally, I want to ask you, the mayor, are you going to resign?
Sir, this is not a question and answer.
Yep,
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. With that, we've completed our list of speakers. And so I will close the public hearing. The City Council is now going to recess its open meeting for approximately 15 minutes, during which time the Board of Estimate and Taxation will convene and complete its business. And then the City Council will reconvene in this chamber in approximately 15 minutes. So, we're going to recess. The City Council meeting is in recess.